Hey y'all, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel where I post DIYs, mom tips, hair tips, and really just tips. So if you like that sort of thing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. In today's video, we're going to be making that DIY Dollar Tree Advent tree that we just showed. And briefly, I'm just going to go ahead and show the materials. I'll also link them down below. All the materials for this project can be found at Dollar Tree, including the gifts. All of my gifts were at Dollar Tree. So right now, I'm just sketching out my tree because I want to have an idea of what I want to look like and kind of where I wanted things to be. It doesn't look exactly like this, but it was just more of a guide than an exact model for it. And I just wrote my little notes off to the side. I really kind of drew this out in the same way that I did for my piñata. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you go watch. I'll link it down below too. But I think for especially if you're worried about covering the sides, making it like a piñata would actually be really, really beneficial. But so the first thing I did was make little tabs, little gift box note things where I wrote each of the activities for the month, for the 25-day countdown, and I just made them look like little gift boxes. So some of them are actually ideas or activities, and then some of them I just wanted to know what was going to go in a specific cup. And if you have something that needs a specific date, like that needs to be done on a weekend or something like that you want to do, I recommend writing it on the back so you can make sure it's placed in the right place on the tree. Here's just me showing some of the materials I used for the actual board itself. I forgot to mention there are two items that are not Dollar Tree friendly, or maybe you can find them at your local Dollar Tree, and that would be the hot glue gun sticks, and the metallic marker. But the metallic marker isn't really necessary. It was more so just to be able to see things better on this board and for you guys to see things better. But the first thing I did was go ahead and arrange my cups where I wanted them to be, and then I outlined them with a pencil. After outlining them, I'm going to go back and mark off 4 points along each circle and write the dates in the middle of the circle on there. I'm going to do that in the metallic marker. You guys will be able to see that in a second. I use the wooden dowels. I was going to say skewers. I use the wooden dowels to mark out the shape of my Christmas tree, but you could use anything with a straight edge. It probably won't be exact, and that's okay. If you're using smaller cups, then you may not even need this much of a board, and maybe yours will be exactly straight, but I also want it to look like ornaments were coming out the side of my tree. So in that case, mine was not exactly straight. Here's the metallic marker I mentioned a minute ago. Now we're going to go on to the crepe paper. Here I'm just showing you how I cut and folded the paper to make it look more like Christmas tree-ish. This part's completely optional. If you want to just cover the whole thing with just straight across rows, that's fine. But I personally like how it looked better being cut. So, whatever looks good to you, go ahead and do that. When cutting the crepe paper, I would just recommend to go ahead and cut it a little bit longer than the board. It's completely fine if it's way longer, but just don't make it way longer. Either way, some hanging off the edge is completely okay, because then you can go back and trim it into the shape that you want it to be, and some of them may hang down over the quote-unquote ornaments, secretly the little punch holes, but the ornaments, and it'll look kind of cute. So it's fine if it doesn't come exactly to the edges. In fact, I think it's better that way. That's what I did. I'm so sorry, you guys, if I'm talking so fast. I just want to get so much information in and do it in sync with this video, so I'm sorry, but hopefully you can follow. Now it had the nerve to slow down after. Okay, the glue. So this is the Dollar Tree glue. I did run out of this glue about halfway through the video, so I actually switched to Elmer School glue. I think that they do sell that at some Dollar Trees, but if not, this Dollar Tree glue worked really perfectly fine. I just happened to be almost out of it. It's not naturally that runny either. I put a little water in it because I was already running low. So you're just going to put a line across, or this zigzag pattern. I actually prefer to cover majority of the board, or at least small sections, with the zigzag pattern, and then that makes it easier to just lay down the paper on top. To me, it's a faster process, but whatever's easier for you, work at the pace that you're comfortable with and work in the way that you're comfortable with. Either way works literally just the same. Also, I think the zigzag way does save a little bit more glue, so if you're kind of short on glue, that might be better too. This is how it looks once all the paper was covered the tree. Now that you've got the tree covered, it's time to start cutting out the actual holes. If you're doing something that's like small or lightweight or just paper, you probably could glue the cup down and cut the holes from the front, or cut the holes first, then glue the cup down and then put the stuff inside. But because some of my stuff was larger, I had to actually make large holes and I had to do it first. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. But I just cut a little diamond and then I cut all the way to the points that I had already made before, and then I'm going to fold them down, and you're gonna see that in a second. After you're done, it may be easier for you to cut off these extra pieces, or you may want to just flip them back forward and have them up under your tissue paper punch outs. To me, it's helpful to keep them just because I had certain things that need to go on certain days and I needed to be able to keep track of the numbers. I did not account for me numbering the things on the back and then flipping it over and it was mirrored. So I was actually really thankful that I had left the tabs on. So if you're doing the tree too and you've made it this far, you notice that it's a lot flimsier than it was before, and that's because we put a bunch of holes in it. So that's where the dollars are going to come in place towards the end. So here is where I'm just showing you the gingerbread house present, and it has a 5 on it because I want to do it on the 5th, and I just put a little extra gift in there because why not. And once I do that, I'm literally just going to fold the little tabs back down, place the cup on top, and then put hot glue around the perimeter. It was really hard for me to record and do this at the same time, so I just tried to show you a little bit of it, but that part's pretty self-explanatory. Hot glue around the perimeter of the cup, and then kind of hold it while it sets for a second, and then that's it. So next one is a toy. Put it in the cup. Boom, bam. Get in there. Okay, so put it in the cup and then put it down same way as before. Now this one, as you see, came kind of past the cup, so this is kind of where our extra pieces of poster board came in handy. So yeah, don't throw any of them away. We really need all of them. So we're gonna put them on there, and then what I did was just take a little hot glue and glue them down to the board for extra support, and then I put tape in a T shape across that. After that, I just cut it off. Those stickers were really big, so I had to put them in first and then the cup. But same process, same concept applies. For the extra poster board at the end, after I glued the dowels on and the tree was finished, I also placed it onto the back of some of the cups for extra support. You'll see what I'm talking about towards the end of the video. But yeah, so this part right here, it's pretty simple. Don't think too much into it. It doesn't really matter how it looks. And if you do decide to go the piñata kind of route, you literally will not see that at all. I'm just kind of going to throw some crepe paper over the sides after I'm finished, just to kind of hide the cups a little bit. But from where I have the advent calendar sitting, you really can't see them anyway. But if you just really, really want it to look even neater, even better, and make sure that you don't, I would recommend doing something like that, giving it some sides. But so here's where I placed the dowels. I secured them with hot glue, and then I followed up with the tape in a T. It's a little cross, and it just really, everything holds in place, and that gave the board so much more support. It was really doing okay, but because some of the toys were bigger and heavier, I just want to make sure that nothing was going to send the thing bending backwards. So this is how it looks before the ornaments. So this is what I was talking about for the sides. So here I'm just showing you where at the end, if you like, you can cut off those extra tabs. If you're doing something with like sheets of paper, little notes, or small objects, you probably want to. I mean, there's really no reason to keep them there, and it'll make punching in the holes a lot easier. But if not, you also can just tuck them in and make sure they stay flat, whatever. For me, I actually pulled some of them forward because I needed to be able to see where the dates were before I put these ornaments on. So now I'm just going to show you how I cut out the circles for the ornaments. All I basically did was trace the cup around a piece of tissue and make the circle a little bit bigger than the cup. Also, that was just to give myself room to cut just in case I messed up something. I wanted a little extra room to play around with. So all I did after that was place a circle around the hole on the board in the front, and then I literally just pat our little bulb on top of that. And I just recommend numbering as you go when you're placing the bulbs down, because you won't be able to see the tabs that are inside, of course, once you glue the paper on there. So what I was saying about the mirror thing before, some of them may not be where you think they are. So you want to make sure everything stays in place and is where it is supposed to be, and everything is right. As far as putting stuff in there, I tried to mix them up and do them kind of random, but not really. I tried to space them out in a way so that it was like little toys some days and then activities some days. So, but do whatever, of course, it's your board. Whatever seems fun for you and your family. So I numbered them with this metallic marker. Then I had the nerve to go over that with the black Sharpie. And then at the end, I just ended up cutting out construction paper in the shape of numbers and placing them on top. To me, that looked a lot better. After you have finished with your board, I actually switched out 2 of my bowls for little gingerbread men because I just thought that would be cute. Just make sure you can't see inside on the ones you're going to do that. I added little bows and curling ribbon out of the for like extra ornaments on the tree. And for the parts where it's like little curling ribbon just hanging down, I flicked up a little fake leaf, a little piece of the green, and I taped under that so that you couldn't see the tape. And then the curling ribbon, I literally just taped down like one part of the end of the bow. And because it's like transparent tape, you wouldn't really see it that good anyway, but just in case. And this is how it came out. So if you guys like this project, please let me know. Or if you tried it or want to see more like it, or have any other ideas of things you would like to see me try, please let me know. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.